am Sarah Jones. I was diagnosed with a very rare form of vasculitis in 2001. It's called Eosinophilic Granulomatosis with Polyangiitis. There is no test. EGPA is the short version. But it affects 2 in a million people, and somehow it found its way to me out of the blue. My wife and I had returned from our 25th anniversary bucket list trip to Molokai, and 3 days later I got sick, and that was the beginning of a whole new chapter that we didn't expect in our lives. It took a year to get diagnosed, over 57 doctor's visits. I know that because I had to count them when I was fighting Social Security to prove that I actually needed assistance and needed to go on Social Security disability. And we went through countless experiences of being discounted, in part, I know, because of our orientation, and in part because of being women. So you add the two together, and I was just sort of histrionic and emotional, is what the doctors would tell me as they scooted me out the door. It was painful. My wife is a social worker, has been her whole career, so she has a master's in social work, and I have run nonprofits in healthcare for my whole career. And so we are pretty well versed in navigating this complicated healthcare system. And the thing that I learned in getting involved in the rare disease community is it is nothing like any other part of the healthcare system. Navigating the rare disease healthcare system is, a big black hole. And it's a dark pathway that you don't know what's in front of you until you're there and until you're trying to navigate it. In 2022, I applied for Social Security disability. I finally realized I could not do my job. It was heartbreaking. I was going to work till I was 80. I told one of the staffers yesterday that I miss my 14-hour days. She looked at me like I was crazy. But also, I miss those 14-hour days, where I could actually do what I wanted to, as opposed to 2 hours, and I'm like, I don't think I can think again until I take a nap. So it is a humbling experience to navigate this, and so many of our rare diseases are invisible. You can't tell that somebody has it. So when we went through the process of applying for a disability, you would think, I have 2 master's degrees. Like I said, my wife is a social worker with a master's in social work. We hired an attorney. Somebody said, or my doctor said, get an attorney for disability. And it still took a year and a half. And the only reason why it only took a year and a half is because we had connections through the healthcare system with the governor's office to help move it forward. I can tell you that getting the first denial letter from Social Security Disability saying you're not sick, we think you can work, is humiliating. And also, I would have to say, I don't actually know the percentage, but I'm going to say like 99% of the people that apply for disability get that letter. It's a humiliating and painful process to give up your career and to not know what lies ahead. And my heart breaks when I saw the cuts in Social Security, and I saw, you can no longer call the Social Security office to help with that application. That application is fierce. Most people don't know how a disability attorney works, and most people don't know that they're capped in terms of how much money they can make and that it's worth every little bit to get them. Most people don't know these things. And so I think of the people who are impacted, the people who are trying to navigate a rare disease and trying to now apply for disability, who don't know the healthcare system, and my heart, it breaks every time I see it. I hope that we can restore some balance and restore some access because people will be hurt, and to what you referenced, people are just, you're trying to, it's not as if disability covers your actual wages that you used to make. You're trying to cover health expenses you never had, and the prices that are going up, and it's tough. So I think if there's, any way that we can ease this process for people, it's priceless. And recognizing that things that are seemingly, they can go unnoticed, like Social Security and the actual impact of that on people with rare disease. I think raising awareness about that is really important. Those are where those consequences are going to hit hard, and they will be silent because people won't have a voice.